Alright, we're back here with Let's Play Demon Souls. I just defeated the first boss of 5-1 World, Valid Defilement. The Leechmonger Archstone is now available, but there's one thing I want to do first. And that is to check to see if I can have a special event occur in the first world. Now this will only occur if there's perfect white world tendency, which by logging online to the server first and then disconnecting before the first boss, I was able to preserve the positive +1 from defeating the phalanx. If you continue to connect to the online server, it'll reset your world tendency each time you go into the Nexus, I believe. And so if you're trying to do these world tendency events, I would advise that you do them offline. Otherwise, you may never actually get to see some of the events occur, collect the items. There's plenty of information about that on the Demon Souls wiki on the internet. And yes, okay, now this gate is open, which is it's usually closed on anything except perfect black or perfect white world tendency. Since we have perfect white, we can actually enter the gallows area. You see a couple of you don't see any nooses on them, but it's an execution area. As you can see, there's some bodies here, and these special monsters appear. As long as you don't rush up, you can have them come one by one. They're identical to the dredgelings in the level. They don't hit quite as hard, and they all drop the crescent moon grass, so I can start using those again. So I used up my reserve in the last level. There's a crystal gecko over there. I think I'm gonna try to get that now. Luckily, with the up-down strike of the blessedness, it's fairly easy to collect those. They drop different ores depending on what level they're in. For Boletaria, they will drop the hardstone and hardstone and sharpstone for crafting the basic upgrades. Whereas in the Valley of Defilement world, they will drop the Faith Stone to go with the motif of that world. You guys aren't too much trouble as long as you're not coming in here at super low level. You can take their hits. When I first started playing, there was a world tendency event going in online, and the very first time I entered the level, I could actually access this area. And so, not being too familiar with the game, I came right over here. Got my behind handed to me. So this area right here, you're going to see what happens next. Executioner.
I have
Miralda?
now,
Miranda?
wretched traitor to the king. I, Miralda, shall show you no mercy.
As long as you keep your endurance up on her, you shouldn't have too much of a time retaliating and being able to avoid her combo attacks. As long as you remember to maintain distance and keep yourself healed. You shouldn't have too many problems. I don't believe she heals herself. She just went to two-handed right there. So her strikes will be a little more ferocious. She must do that at a certain hit point level. Alright, and down she goes. I wouldn't recommend doing her unless you're pretty experienced at the game at this low of a level. The items she drops are a female-only set, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually just discard them because there are a few items in the area where she spawns that actually I would like to collect. But this is if you're playing a female character class, the armor is very good, some of the best in the game, because it's lightweight with high AC, and then the stamina penalties. A lot of the armor in this game, the heavier it is, it'll actually give you a stamina regeneration penalty and a stamina usage penalty. And her armor bypasses those effects. Now there is a male version of the armor that has those same characteristics, but it takes a little bit longer, a little bit later in the game to get that. Now I just got a ring of poison resistance. That's one of the items that I did want to get in this area because that'll help out in the next section of the Valley of Defilement. Because it's just going to get worse. You're actually going to march through the poison swamp, and the poison resistance rings helps delay the time it takes for you to actually become poisoned. So very useful considering I don't really have a super good weapon yet, but that's the whole point of going to that area second, is to get the weapon that's gonna be complementary to my faith build. Now this is the brushwood armor set. Very high defense, some of the most in the game, but has also the highest armor class penalty. Or I'm sorry, stamina regeneration penalty. It does look very cool, actually. I'll show you how it looks in 1 second. It's a very long ladder. You do not want to fall off. Actually, on the side there, it drops down, as a pitfall. There's an item you can get off that corpse too. I'm not going to do it right now, since it's not going to be useful quite yet. But let me just, once I get out of this area, I'll put the armor on. Just make sure you don't fall off running back up. So this is the brushwood armor set. I'm going to be massively overburdened putting it on. I'll just put all of it on for giggles. So that you look absolutely cool. You almost look like a Warhammer character or something like that. But I'm so overburdened I can't even run. If I attempt to roll, you just get kind of that exhausted animation. But the armor at higher levels, you can use it. A lot of people don't, just because it has a very high equip penalty, equip burden. So but actually what I like to do is I'm actually going to use the helmet with these items. And so, because the Saint's armor has no adjoining helmet. So I think you kind of look like a legionnaire, like a holy warrior. I don't think I quite have the endurance to use a shield with it, so that's going to be the next stat I'm going to increase in the Nexus. Because I'm at 20, which would mean I can go up to 40. I'm at 43 for maximum. And with the shield, it's actually, I would need 46. Yeah, that doesn't make a difference. Either that, or I could just, if I do need the shield for this for the Value of Defilement 2, the Leechmonger Archstone, I would just not use the helmet there.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be great.
I think I will. I'll use one more. Level up on getting the endurance to use a shield, just because the added AC will be beneficial for this area.
Then,
1 second.
soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
So now I can equip everything
Name thine.
and still maintain my roll status. Go ahead and deposit my excess items. Definitely want to deposit this brushwood set. That's gonna, if you forget to do this, you're gonna have a hard time picking up anything else.
You have a heart to...
And then I'm gonna, instead of the clean ring, I'm gonna equip the ring of poison resistance. So we're all ready to go into that next area. Let me go ahead and go through some dialogue with this guy. Since we kill a second boss, it slightly changes.
Have you met the last surviving monumental? Those fools revived the old one, and now they've trapped us here in the Nexus. It's all
So
a
he
travesty.
gives you a little bit of his own thoughts. Here
Well,
we go.
you found yourself a demon soul, did you? I'm impressed. Yes, indeed I am. Stay the path, and you will soon be a monster yourself. Can't you see you've fallen for their trap?
So he alludes to the fact that it's kind of the theme of the game is that as you progress, you get so caught up in, you know, leveling up from using souls and killing the boss demons to get more magical power, magical weapons, that you become kind of like the very thing that you're defeating. And so the whole game is a ideology of like light versus darkness, or, you know, will you choose the correct path? Will you become corrupted by the dark alluring power that's infecting the world? And so, all right. And so in the next video, I don't want to get quite started yet, but we're gonna go into the Valley of Defilement 2 and go ahead and get the item I've been waiting to get. It's gonna be a little tough when you start getting to the second sections of the world for these levels. The difficulty ramps up proportional to the expected stat gains you've gotten in items you've collected. So, alright, well, this is QuadKiter, and thanks again for watching these videos, and I look forward to having you join me next time.